How to break free from the supernatural ghost wall walking in circles phenomenon. Hey, dude. This is Bob. Today we're going to talk about a phenomenon that exists in both the East and the West. In China, it's called ghost hitting the wall, while in the West, it's often described as walking in circles or even like Groundhog Day. Just as I've always believed, if a phenomenon exists across different cultures, regions, and even throughout time, shared by you, me, and everyone else, then it's not just a myth or a legend. It's something real, something that truly exists, even if it's beyond what we can currently explain in our understanding of the world. As usual, let's start with this. What exactly is hitting a ghost wall or walking in circles for no reason? Have you ever found yourself caught in an endless loop on a pitch-black night? Those seemingly familiar landmarks keep repeating under your feet, yet no matter what you do, you just can't find a way out. This often happens in the dead of night, in desolate fields or graveyards where silence amplifies the eeriness. Some hikers have reported experiencing something similar to ghost walls even during the day while trekking through deep mountains. And sometimes, you might even find yourself stuck in a dream trapped in a place you just can't get out of. Even for those who drive, some people have shared similar eerie experiences. One user said that while driving around dusk, their GPS suddenly failed, and they completely lost their sense of direction. After circling back to the same starting point twice, things got weirder. The car had a flat tire, which they didn't even notice at first. Then, it almost caught fire. And later, the car door nearly fell off. By this point, I'm sure everyone's familiar with the concept of ghost wall. Even if you haven't experienced it yourself, you've probably heard stories about it from friends or relatives. That's right, these are all examples of the legendary ghost wall phenomenon. It's a kind of supernatural phenomenon where, for some unknown reason, you keep walking in circles, unable to find a way out, until you're forced to give up or remain lost forever. Ghost wall usually happens when someone is alone, but there have been cases involving 2 or more people, or even entire groups, though those instances are much rarer. So, why does ghost wall, this strange phenomenon, actually happen? In both Eastern and Western folklore, the existence of this phenomenon is often described as interference caused by ghosts or spirits. In China, people believe that after death, a person's spirit can turn into a ghost. Some ghosts are said to linger and cause trouble for the living. Another theory suggests that playful spirits of children who died young might be messing with you, wanting to play games, whether you like it or not. There's also a belief that your ancestors, sensing danger ahead, create delays like this to help you avoid potential disasters. So, is ghost wall really caused by mischievous spirits, or is it just a trick of the mind? Scientists have also contributed their own research on this phenomenon. To uncover the truth behind ghost wall, scientists have conducted experiments in an attempt to solve this eerie mystery. For example, some scientists abroad started with animal experiments. One researcher used a wild duck and fitted it with a specially designed blindfold to completely block its vision before tossing it into the air. The duck instinctively tried to fly, but quickly lost its sense of direction, circling aimlessly in the sky, much like how people repeatedly retrace their steps when experiencing ghost walk. The same scientist then conducted a similar experiment with a volunteer. They blindfolded the person and had them walk in an open field. The result? The volunteer unknowingly walked in circles, just like the duck. These experiments suggest that when vision is lost, both humans and animals are prone to experiencing ghost wall. This is likely due to motion-based visual illusions or a loss of sense of direction, rather than any haunting spirits. Other research teams have used motion capture technology to conduct more precise experiments, both indoors and outdoors. They track the movement paths of participants with and without navigation devices, analyzing the causes and effects of directional errors and their accumulation over time. The results showed that error accumulation, both indoors and outdoors, can indeed lead to the ghost wall phenomenon. The accumulation of errors is primarily caused by the following factors: uneven stride length and walking pace, shifts in body balance and center of gravity, uneven ground friction, environmental interference. When these errors build up to a certain level, they cause the participant to misjudge their position and direction, creating the illusion of ghost wall. So, how do we break free from ghost wall? First, and most importantly, pick up your phone and call your mom. Just kidding. But honestly, this can also be a good way to check if you're really experiencing ghost wall or if it's just your mind playing tricks on you. Or better yet, just grab your phone and open Google Maps. Use the GPS to figure out the right route and follow it. Problem solved. Don't scare yourself. It's not that easy to run into a supernatural phenomenon. But if even Google can't help you if your GPS refuses to show your location well, that's when you might start to get a little scared. Now, let's talk about some traditional folk remedies. Different regions have their own methods for breaking free, passed down through generations. And as the saying goes, practice makes perfect. These methods must have worked to some degree for them to survive the test of time. For the brave souls, once they realize they're stuck, they simply stop walking, lie down, and go to sleep. When they wake up, everything's back to normal, as if nothing ever happened. Women, according to tradition, are advised to spit toward the air when encountering ghost wall. Men can spit as well, but just to be extra thorough. They're encouraged to urinate in the direction they're heading. The older generation swears by this method, claiming that if you urinate, the ghost wall will dissolve on its own, especially if it's a child's urine, which is said to be the most effective. Another method involves eating something or smoking a cigarette. It's been passed down that smoking a cigarette when trapped by ghost wall will break the spell by the time you finish it. Of course, this might not be ideal for non-smokers, but you can substitute it by eating something like chocolate or candy. If you choose the smoking route, though, make sure to fully extinguish the cigarette afterward. In cases of stronger ghosts, it's said that you won't even be able to light a cigarette. Ghosts are afraid of fire. In even more extreme cases, it's believed that firearms won't fire. When things get that serious, folklore suggests a drastic solution. Punch your nose or bite your tongue hard enough to draw blood, then spit or sprinkle the blood around. Ghosts fear blood because they are shadow entities, while human blood, especially fresh blood, is pure brightness. At that point, the walls should disappear on their own. The most potent solution, as legend has it, involves blood from the tip of your tongue. It's said to be the ultimate ghost deterrent. However, this method is not recommended. It's extremely painful, and there's no clear guidance on how much to bite. The last thing you'd want is to hurt yourself for no reason and still remain stuck. Some novels mention that when you enter an extremely yin place, you should bring a live rooster with you. It sounds reasonable at first, but think about it if you really run into a malicious ghost. You might not even be able to fire a gun. In a critical moment, would you even have the time or ability to get blood from that rooster? Another method is to make a 90-degree turn every time you walk a short distance. Keep doing this, and eventually, you'll find your way out. Or you can look around for ditches, pits, or any kind of depression in the ground. If you find one, climb down into it and follow the bottom of the ditch to crawl your way out. This is because the ghost wall only works on flat surfaces. A pit or a ditch can be your way out. Carry a protective talisman with you. A talisman is said to be a token blessed by the gods. In folk beliefs, once a talisman has been passed over a temple's incense burner, it is believed that divine soldiers will accompany and protect you. If you happen to get caught in a ghost wall situation, your phone map isn't working, going to the bathroom or eating something hasn't helped. You should immediately hold the talisman in your hand and call upon the gods, asking for their help to guide you out of the predicament. Some people also say you can loudly recite the following words. The path to heaven is wide. Let us each go our way. We have no grudges in the past, and no quarrels today. If I have offended you, please forgive me. After saying this, turn clockwise 3 times, then counterclockwise 4 times, and walk straight ahead. Before long, you'll find that you've made it out. There are also methods like wearing your clothes inside out, or simply yelling at the ghost. If the ghost is being aggressive, you can be even more aggressive. Shout louder, curse at it, and show you're not afraid. The idea is to see who backs down first, you or the ghost. If anyone knows other tricks or remedies, feel free to share. Another method is to carry a handful of rice dyed red, like the dye used for coloring red XOR. A small handful of mixed grains. If you find yourself caught in a ghost wall, sprinkle a few grains in front of you with each step you take. Follow the trail of rice you've scattered, and you'll eventually find your way out. The simplest method, just wait until daylight. After sharing the folk remedies, we can't forget to mention the scientific solutions. Stop and take a break. The human brain is incredibly complex, and sometimes exhaustion can cause us to experience illusions, making us feel like we're trapped in a ghost wall. At this point, find a stable place to sit down and rest. Let your brain recover while you take a moment to carefully observe your surroundings. You may have missed the correct path earlier because you were rushing or panicking. Stay calm. If you encounter a ghost wall phenomenon, the first and most important thing is to stay calm and composed. Don't let yourself become overly panicked or anxious. Use tools. When walking at night, carry a flashlight or other light sources to improve visibility and help you identify your surroundings and direction. Seek help. If you feel lost or uneasy, ask for help from people nearby or use natural markers, like the North Star, to guide your way. Modern tools, such as GPS navigation on your phone or a compass, can also provide reliable assistance. These are the explanations and solutions provided by both folk traditions and science. Ultimately, which version you choose to believe is entirely up to you.